Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, folkers. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. This is Snapzilla Gorilla. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy. Today is November 26th. Wait. Wednesday, November 25th. Excuse me. 2020. And it is the day before Thanksgiving. So, let's get ready for the festivities, y'all. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? What are you guys making? I'm not doing no turkey, right? I'm doing a brisket and a couple of full chickens, a couple whole chickens, you know what I mean? No turkey this year. Anyway, y'all like the sweater? My nephew made this, so if y'all interested in the sweater, y'all let me know, and I'll make sure my my little nephew hooks y'all up. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I can't say I'm surprised by what they're doing in DC, y'all. I cannot say that I'm surprised about the law they just passed in DC. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard about it. It actually, this was like early this week that they came up with this, or Friday. Now, in DC, your children, ages 11 and older, can be inoculated or vaccinated without your consent. What's up, the wise one? So without your consent, without parental consent, they can vaccinate your children. They can convince your children to get vaccinated. And you won't even have to know a word about it. Next thing you know, you come home, your kid's lying on the ground, seizing, right? Seizing and convulsing and drooling. And you're like, what the hell's going on? Then you call the police, you call the ambulance. And they're like, well, what happened? What, do you know what caused this? Nah, I don't know. I just came home and they were fucking, she was seizing her. He was seizing on the floor, convulsing. And, this is the world, what the world is coming to, y'all. Imagine how you would feel if you found out that your child, let's say your teenage daughter at age 13 got the Gardasil shot, right? And then she goes into adverse reactions of that, and boom, she ends up paralyzed or dead. And you find out that they gave your child an injection of something that likely caused that harm to your child. Imagine how much more difficult it would be to prove in the vaccine court of law that the Gardasil shot caused that, because you weren't there for that. You weren't there. You didn't give your consent. You didn't say, okay, go ahead and give my child an injection. No, they did it without your knowledge. They treated your child as an adult, right? And told them, oh, you don't worry about it. You can get this without your parents knowing about it. What kind of nonsense is that? Age 11 and older? Listen, children, people are impressionable to the age of 25. Like, you can be 25 years old and still be impressionable, let alone an 11-year-old. An 11-year-old you can manipulate into accepting things into their body. Yo, we in for it, y'all. DC Mayor Muriel Bowser has no children or husband. Of course not. That's why they don't listen. These people, even if they do have husbands or children, they still don't care about you and yours. This is what we have to understand. They don't care about you and your family. It doesn't matter if they have 10 children and 20 wives or husbands. They don't care about you. You understand what I'm saying? The whole reason behind this thing, right? The whole thing behind doing this is to skirt parental authority. The only legitimate authority that one person has over another is a parent over their child. And they want to take that away from you and place it into their own hands, right? Look, they want a child to be able to give consent to get a vaccination, but they can't buy a firearm until they're 21. What the hell? They can't purchase a firearm until they're 21 or whatever BS like that. Oh, they want a child. They want 16-year-old kids to be able to vote, right? They want to lower the voting age to 16 years old, but they won't lower the age to purchase a firearm to 16 years old, or to drink liquor, or to smoke cigarettes. So why are we picking and choosing what rights they have at what age? If they have a right to have something injected into them that they have no idea what it would do to them, well, then they're old enough to freaking smoke a cigarette and do the same thing, or drink some liquor, or smoke marijuana, or pick up a firearm. You see, it's like George Carlin said. He asked this question: why is it that in certain countries, in certain parts of the world, everybody has a certain number of rights, you know what I'm saying, in a specific area? You have a specific number of rights. No, that's not how it works. Either you have the right to do anything you want, or you don't. There is no enumerated amount of rights. You have the right to do what you want, or you don't. You have the right to do what you want as long as you don't harm another person or violate another person's privacy rights or whatever. As long as you're not violating someone else. You have all the rights in the world, or you have zero rights. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. But they use religion, they use law, they use politics, they use euphemisms, they use fear in order to strip you of whatever right you feel like you have. And it's sad to see. Kids are 18, old enough to go to the war. Right. Hell, you can get in at 17. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. At 17 years old, you can join the military, but you can't purchase a firearm. But you can pick up a firearm that they give you to shoot at someone that they say is your enemy. This whole paradigm makes no sense. Exactly. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. The only right you don't have is to violate someone else's rights. And that's whether you steal from them, kill them, step on them, threaten them, beat them. Whatever you can do to violate someone else, that's the only right you don't have. Right? And you know, I hadn't been on Facebook in a while because it was getting on my nerves. These people are idiots, because all you see, you don't learn anything on Facebook anymore, right? There aren't people on Facebook anymore that can spit truth and spit facts, because they'll shut your channel down, they'll suspend you, blah blah blah. I was in a debate with someone in someone's post, right? And before I could even post the comment, Facebook shot me a pop-up and said, "Oh, if you post this, we might delete it. This looks like something. It has the same language that we have deleted before. That could be considered bullying." So before I could even post a comment, Facebook informed me that they have deleted comments like that before because it seemed like bullying. Yes, Facebook is now, the algorithm is that sharp to where before you even post a comment, when you go to post it and you hit send, they tell you, yo, nah, pimpin', this don't look right. And if you post it, we'll end up deleting it. Wow. These cats right here, pimpin'. These people, I mean, they have it in the bag. They have everything at their disposal. You know, we're outnumbered, we're outgunned, we're out-teched, we it seems like it's a losing battle no matter what, right? But nah, no. That's not the mentality that I'm going to take, because I'm going to continue to spit the truth and the facts as I see fit. Now, like I said, I was in a debate on Facebook with somebody, and they were talking about the face constipators. I'll just call them that. The oxygen constipators. All right, because if you say the M word, right, that'll kick an algorithm off in YouTube, and they'll be attentively listening and watching for anything you say that it might have anything to do with advice in regards to, the face panties. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to be really careful, the oxygen deprivators. But we're talking about that. And essentially, this one cat was like, if you think this whole thing is a hoax, you about stupid, and you might as well delete me as a friend, or whatever the case may be. I found that very curious, because this is an individual who calls himself conscious, and he's just one of these Hotep two-steppers. I like to call them people Hotep two-steppers, because it's all a dance, it's all a show for them. There's no real fire behind their Hotepping, right? It's just to look cool and attract women and all of this shit. They don't really believe in their heart what they say. But if you believe this whole thing is a hoax by now, then you stupid, and you might as well delete me as a friend. So I was like, okay. So I went in there and I was like, well, what if you refuse to believe what the government or the media is telling you about this whole situation? What if you don't believe in it? And the bottom line is this: all his little friends started flooding my comment, right, in the replies. And basically what I heard were statists and tyrants who felt like it was okay to violate other people's rights in the name of safety, right? In the name of health. Regardless of what information I put there, I posted real hard data from the government, from the FDA, from the CDC, from these different government organizations that completely blew all this shit out the water about the face panties and all this shit, right? About what the face panties can do and how effective they are. I presented real evidence. This one cat presented an article that is from CNN that mentioned, oh, well, the CDC says the face panties are effective, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm like, well, look, I got shit straight from the CDC that shows that 71% of infected people, and during a study, right, a blind study, 71% of real case patients and 74% of case of study, controlled study patients always wore a mask when they contracted the disease, and 4% never wore a mask, right? That was completely ignored. Completely ignored. When you present real evidence, real facts, and they have nothing to argue against in regards to that, they just start, oh, well, Jesus told me this, and like, come on, Jesus, and oh, I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna wear some face panties and this, that, and the third, and and then one cat's like, yo, I'm going to ensure that everybody is following the science and following the rules, right? I'm like, yo, how are you going to ensure that everyone follows the rules and the science? You sound like a tyrant. That's tyrant mentality. That's not even status mentality. That's a tyrannical mentality. That to think that you are going to make sure everybody's following the rules based on what? Based on no real evidence. There's no real evidence of anything anything these people assert. There's no real evidence that shows that face panties work, right? None. The doctor just say, oh, the doctor comes out, people are dying. Wear your mask. It helps. That's it? That's all you got for me? So I'm just supposed to appeal to the expert, appeal to authority, because you just said it out your mouth. Where's the hard data? Where's the evidence? Where's the study? Where's multiple studies? And has your theory been tested over and over again and repeatedly to the point where it doesn't fail any test and now it can be considered scientific fact? Is it scientific fact that face panties work? Hey everyone, I'm listening. What's up, No Nonsense Stucky? I ain't seen you up in here in a while. Let me see what y'all talking about. Jay's Danger Room, what's going on? How you doing? The wise one's in the house. It's all or nothing for show. Hell yeah, bro. The wise one says, Facebook is crazy. I lost 5 friends for speaking the truth. Yeah. I like losing friends on Facebook. That makes me feel good. I got a notification that my posts were being shared as soon as I posted them on Facebook. That is strange. Yeshua's return says, how's it going? What are we chatting about here? Just the new law in DC, Washington, DC, where they say that the parents don't need to give consent for your children to have to get inoculated from ages 11 and up. So, I mean, it's just so now, based on this pandemic, right, that we're facing, DC's up here passing laws that takes parents' rights away. See, the more, it's the Hegelian dialectic at work. The ultimate solution is to strip more of your rights away. Right? That's the ultimate solution. I don't know why these people are so hell-bent on enslaving you, but they are. It's just a reality. And to think that they're not capable of that, to think that the powers that be are not capable of trying to enslave you because somehow we've gotten over slavery and we think it's morally wrong now and blah, blah, blah. Listen, you got another thing coming. These people love slavery, right? They just had to change form. See, look, slavery is like energy, right? You know, the law of thermodynamics. Energy changes form. It doesn't disappear or is not created, right? Just like slavery. The laws of slave dynamics, okay? It doesn't disappear and it's not created. It just changes form. It changes form based on environmental factors and social factors and the economy and all that other shit. Because if you look at it, if these people were so incapable and you felt like they were so morally up there that they wouldn't even consider making you slaves, then why are they allowing this to go down in Libya? Libya has straight up and down slavery, right? Libya, excuse me, not only is there slavery in Libya, thanks to Obama, by the way. Oh, thanks to Obama, there's full-fledged slavery going on in Libya, right? He had to take out Gaddafi because Gaddafi was trying to reintroduce the gold dinar in the entire African continent. Use actual real gold as opposed to the US dollar, which is tied to OPEC. You can't get shit from OPEC, meaning the oil. You can't deal with that without using the dollar, right? Well, they wanted to get away from that because guess what? Gaddafi had his own access to oil and shit. So guess what? He wanted to use gold dinar in Africa to decouple from the central banks. So Obama gets shit cracking over there to the point where it appears that Gaddafi's taken out by his own people. Obama stirred that shit up. Now what you got? You got slavery cracking in Libya. They're harvesting organs from Nigerians in Libya. If the United States hated slavery so much and they weren't okay with it, then why aren't we spreading democracy in Libya right now? Isn't that what they say when they go over to these countries and interfere in their affairs and dibble and dabble in other people's business? Oh, we got to spread democracy. We got to free the people. There's dictators over there. Blah, blah, blah. If that was the case, why aren't they over in Libya right now shutting that shit down? They can do it in 2 seconds. What Libya gonna do if we run up in there and say, you better shut this shit down right now and free these slaves and give them their organs back and stop taking their organs and blah, blah, blah. If this country and this government were so morally up there, so morally superior, like we like to think they are, why is there slavery going on right now in Libya? Right? We interfere in every other country's affairs over shit. Why not that? Because there's nothing they can gain from it. As a matter of fact, they probably benefit from slavery in Libya in some form or fashion. Probably with the organs. I don't know. But there's nothing, they don't gain anything from stopping it. So they're not going to do anything about it. You see? They don't give a shit about slavery. They don't give a shit about ending slavery. They just had to change it up, switch it up, make it look different. Right here in the United States. They had to change it and mold it and tailor it so that people would believe that they're actually free when they're really not. But that's what it is. Order ab chow. What does that mean? Just Yeshua. Ah, yes, District of Criminals. Yes. We shouldn't be the world police. Exactly. We shouldn't be the world police. And the fact that this law passed in Washington, D.C. shows how much enslaved we are. Because these council people, which they're the ones, the council, right? The council people in D.C., they're the ones who passed this. They didn't bring the vote to the people. They didn't say, let's let the people decide. No, they did it themselves. They said, okay, boom. I think it was a 10-4 vote or something like that. Something crazy like that. 10-4, some shit. And because of that, now guess what? Boom. Parental rights taken away. Just like that. If that's not slavery, I don't know what is. I don't know what is that then, right? Because you pay these council people with your tax dollars. You have no choice. They take it right out of your paycheck. They extort it from you. So people that you're paying to allegedly represent you, to supposedly represent you, are passing laws that go against you. And if you don't comply, boom, guess what? That ass is grass. You get fined, you get jailed, you get a hefty sentence. Tell me that ain't slavery. Just go ahead and tell me. Tell me how that's not slavery. When you can't even opt out. You can't even opt out. And they want to make it to where they want to take away the fiat currency and go all digital. They really got you by the nuts, right? They want to move you into these mega cities, take away the coins, right? Where you go? I went to the store the other day, and every other time I went, they said they have a corn shortage, blah, blah, blah. But now they only accept credit cards and debit cards. No more cash. They went from exact change to if you ain't got no card, boom, you ain't getting shit from here. It's a transitional period, right? They want you to get used to using cards only. They want you to get used to using digital shit. Zeros and ones, binary code inside of a fucking computer program. What happens when the computer gets shut down? What happens when it gets hacked and people steal your shit? What can you do about it? Not a damn thing. What you gonna do? Every time you go into your online bank account, you're gonna take a screenshot to show how much money you had in there, so you can prove that that's how much money you had. If they completely wipe the programs, right? They completely wipe all your digital currency off the map with a touch of a button, with the push of a button. See, they can't do that with cash. They can't do that with real gold and silver and whatnot. They can't do that. That's why they want to get away from it. That's why they want to end private sales. That's why they're making these laws, these gun control laws, to where, it's universal background check. You can't make any purchases without going through a background check. You can't do any more private sales. They want to end private sales. That's why they fucking with the farmers, right? That's why you got to have a permit for everything. You got to have a permit for hunting. You got to have a permit to fish. You got to have a permit to build. You got to have permission slip to do every goddamn thing you want to do in this world that you have the right to do anyway without a permission slip. They've gotten us so used to begging and asking and paying to have our rights back that it's second nature to us now. They strip us of our rights and then make us pay to get them bitches back. Right? That's what the driver's license is for. That's what registration is. You got to make you got to pay all these payments to drive a car. You got to pay your car insurance. You got to pay for your driver's license. You got to pay for your registration and your tags and small checks and all this shit. We have the right to travel as we see fit, be it in a vehicle, be it on a fucking horse or a bike, a dune buggy. They like you to think that driving is a privilege. It's not. It's a right. If you have the means to purchase a vehicle and you have that vehicle and it's yours, you have the right to drive that bitch. They can't tell you, oh, you need permission, it's a privilege. No. Who do you get privileges to? Somebody tell me, who receives privileges? No, I use a bank account and a credit card, but if I want to use cash, I want to be able to use cash. When I speak my mind, Facebook, I just know that I'm speaking my mind. It has nothing to do with my friends. I'm just speaking in general, just so I'm not dumb. Yeah, for sure. With cash, there's the anonymous factor. With digital currency, everything is traced and documented against you. Exactly. Exactly. Who do you give privileges to? A child. A child who's done a good job at school. A parent is the only one who has the authority to give a child privileges or not, right? Not to be their dictator, but to guide them and mold them and shape them into responsible, moral adults. We have to be their authority, because if we don't, they won't last. But once they become of age and they demonstrate that they have some sense of maturity, then they go off in the world and they do their own thing. They have the right to do that. No one gives me privileges. You understand what I'm saying? It's not for you to give me the privilege to drive. It's not for you. It's not for the government. And that's why I was trying to explain to these people, and like, they just don't get it. They feel like the government has the authority to make you wear a face panties, to make you get injected. They feel like they have the right. The government can do this. Yeah. And then, they like to throw at you the Constitution and the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Oh, life came before rights. In rights, you have the right to blah blah. They just say it's stupid. It's stupid because they're saying your life comes first before rights and all that other shit. And I was like, well, for me, it's important that I live my life freely, right? With my rights intact. That's what life is for me. So my life is conjoined with my rights and my freedom. They're not. They act like life, liberty, and rights are mutually exclusive. No, they're together. You can't have life. You can't have real life without liberty, freedom, and your rights intact. What kind of life is that? You're the living dead, in my mind, if you don't have that. Do you think the government should be able to punish criminals? Hold on, I'm gonna answer that question. I work, so I learned the right to be free. Yeah, you don't tell me anything. That daddy government doesn't hand me out any checks for free. Hell no. So Ted asked, do you think the government should be able to punish criminals or decide what's criminal? No. No, it's up to the people. What's up, Kevin Elmore, Elmore? No. Well, if you want to live in a society with government and you want to give that government that ability, yeah, I mean, but that has to be something that you choose for yourself. Because like I said, some people are going to want rulers, some people are going to want government, some people feel like they can't function without somebody telling them what to do. Okay, well, they can do that, but they shouldn't get to decide what's criminal. In order to be a criminal, you have to leave a victim. Point blank and period. If you don't leave a victim, you can't be a criminal, right? Like if I smoke a plant, or if I drink some alcohol, or if I'm at a stop sign, I don't see anybody coming, or I'm pulling up to a stop sign, no one's coming, I'm good. I can just roll right through that bitch without making a complete stop. That's not a crime. I didn't do anything to anybody. Speeding, I didn't cause an accident. I didn't get an accident. Blah blah blah. Whatever. There's a lot of laws in the book that punish people that don't commit crimes, like possessing a tool, or collecting rainwater, or raising planting a garden in your front yard. Little stupid shit like that they do fine you for, or disconnecting from the grid and living on your land without the government being able to do anything. Like, they have laws in certain states where if you could disconnect from the grid and you provide your own source of energy for your home and whatever, they can fine you. This one cat was fined $25,000 a day. They put him in jail, all this other shit, took his land. What did he do? What crime did he commit? He didn't commit any crime. They just got mad because they couldn't control whether or not he had energy in his own crib. That's the type of shit that lets you know that you're a slave. Not paying the IRS. It's not a crime. How's that a crime? You want to keep all your money? You decide to keep all the money that you earned, but they want to call that a crime. It makes no sense. It's ridiculous. If I want my money to go toward building a road or building a bridge, let me voluntarily give my money up for that. And if people see the benefit in having that bridge or repaving that road, if they see the benefit of it, right? And they say, okay, we need this, it only makes sense, then they'll probably just do it anyway. But to force it on people, no, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I got to get in here, y'all. I just wanted to holler at y'all real quick about this, about that ridiculous new law, and to demonstrate how enslaved we really are. This is what it is. There's no other two ways about it. Got to call it like I see it. Anyway, much love to y'all. I'll probably do a live tomorrow if I go rucking. Depends. I got to prepare everything for Thanksgiving Day. Family meal day is what I usually call it, but it is what it is. Anyway, much love to you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Put everybody up on game about this law. It's ridiculous. This is what they want to do nationwide. This is exactly what they want nationwide. And worse. I would never work for the government or IRS. Yeah. All right, man. Much love to you guys. Peace out.